Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to Indiethon. We are here ready to get our next run underway, which is going to be Stray, run by 601, with Mendez and commentary, featuring a very particular cat that I'll let the runners also talk about, which was made possible by your wonderful donations, the $50 that we have raised so far for Caldwell Children. So thank you very much once again for those $50. If someone would be kind enough to donate 19 in some capacity, we could hit an even nicer number. Anyway, with that said, Huds and Mendez, take it away.
Thank you very much, Double. Yes, hello everyone, my name is huds601 and I am here. It's my first appearance at Indiethon. It's wonderful to be here. I'm going to be running Stray any percent glitchless on the PC for you. Before we get underway, a couple of things to let you know about. First off, yes, we have Alfie Cam. He has decided in the last couple of seconds to turn his back on everyone, but yeah, I thought it'd be nice to have some actual cat on stream. So everyone say hello to Alfie. He is about 3 months old and he is currently hiding from you all. Secondly, let me introduce my commentator. Mendez is joining me for this. Hi, Mendez.
Hello, that's me.
That is you. Thanks for coming.
A pleasure to be here. Looking forward to a wonderful speedrun today.
Oh, thank you. And yes, your fantastic donations out there, everyone. Thank you so much for donating. It does mean that we are going to be running this game with the Garfield mod on. So we're not going to be the actual Cat and Stray. We're going to be Garfield instead. So make sure to have your lasagna at the ready. A few other things to let you know about this run before we kick things underway as well that you should be aware of. Number one, there is an official macro for this game, which I am using. It allows me to replicate freewheeling scroll wheels with my Xbox controller really fast. It is allowed in speedruns, so I am using it, and it replicates it up to 60 spins per second each way. Allows us to skip dialogue really, really fast, but also has some other uses elsewhere in the game. The other things to say is that I am using hybrid control. So I'm using controller, I am using mouse, and I may occasionally be using keyboard as well. It's a bit of a hectic one down here, so Mendez is going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting on the commentary at particular points in this run. Third and final thing, this run is going to be very heavy on the spoilers. If you have not played this game and you do not want the story spoiled for you, this is fair warning that you are going to get spoiled on the story for this one. We will be keeping you up to date during the run about all the dialogue that you're missing and what's going on in the game. With all that said, are we ready, Mendez?
I think we're ready.
Fantastic. Right, if we're ready on the time, let's get things underway. We're going to be starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Alright, so we're going to be starting out here with the prologue. So they really knew what they were doing when they first started out this game. So they decided to put all the super cute cat animations right at the beginning of this run. We're going to see a little family of cats here that have kind of just been surviving in this this little wasteland.
No, it's a little family of Garfields.
There's a little family of oh, they're all Garfields.
They're all Garfields in the latest version of the mod.
Oh no!
And so it begins, chat. So it begins.
So we're going to be seeing the cute Garfield animations. If there's one thing the world was not ready for, it was more Garfield.
I know, right?
So we're gonna touch these cats in a specific order. We're gonna touch the right one, we're gonna touch the one at the back, and then the one on the left. That's gonna save a couple of seconds because the left one takes less time to get into position. And you can see we're just gonna like play with the cat. I think this one, yeah, you just rub against the face.
We get the licks. Mlam, mlam, mlam. And then we're gonna play with the tail on this one.
Play with the tail. Oh, they're all like different colour Garfields as well.
It's great, isn't it?
That's amazing. I've seen the Garfield one before, but I don't think I've seen this version.
Oh, this mod. The other thing I should have let everyone know, by the way, is that because we are running a cat texture mod here with Garfield, any potential PBs that might come from this run are instantly invalid. You are not allowed to run this for the leaderboard with cat texture mods turned on, but for the purposes of running here at the marathon, it's no issue at all. It doesn't actually change any part of the game itself. It's just the fact that it could be used to hide changes to the game that would be beneficial to the speedrunner, but we're not doing that. Also, this is so cursed.
It really is. I'm sorry, I've got to take issue with what you just said. It does change parts of the run. It makes it so much better.
What? Why are his whiskers made of strawberry laces?
I don't know. It's so wrong. I didn't realize. So the first time I used this mod for the first time at For the Love of Gaming's marathon, and I didn't realize that this cutscene was rendered in engine. I thought that this cutscene was pre-rendered, and so when I first saw that for the first time, it freaked me out. I don't know why the whiskers look like that. It's so weird. Oh god. Anyway, whiskers aside, we got this nice little kind of 1 minute 40-second cutscene here, and we are going to be moving on to our first chapter proper. We're moving on to Inside the Wall. Mindes, do you want to explain the title card that's about to come up just here?
Yeah, absolutely. So every level has a title card that's got some text in the actual in-game language. So the civilization in this particular city has created their own language, and each level has a word associated with it. The word on this one is blue.
I wonder what that could mean.
Yeah,
it's for the sky.
We're not going to see a lot of the sky during this run.
Such
so
mystery.
Yeah. So the first chapter here is called, as I say, Inside the Wall. It's a very kind of tutorial style chapter. It's going to be very linear. A lot of the stages in this run are kind of linear, and a lot of it is about getting from place A to place B, but trying to optimize that in terms of the paths you take, the particular jumps that you make. So we're going to head in as straight a line as possible. We're going to veer slightly right and get onto this platform as soon as possible. And just really optimizing those movements, because even the smallest mistake loses like a second or two. You know, those really add up throughout the course of the run.
Oh, they really do.
So we're just kind of learning the basics of the game here. We're just kind of running around, doing some basic jumps. We're going to go through some like tunnels. I'm gonna here we learn to chain jump as well. So we're just repeatedly jumping from one spot to another. And we're seeing a typical day in the life of our cat hero here, Garfield.
Hunting the lasagna.
Hunting for lasagna. This is the new storyline. Wake it up as we go along.
That's all this game's about. It's about Garfield trying to find lasagna.
Absolutely. So coming up to the end of the chapter here, so as soon as we land, we should trigger a cutscene.
There we go. So you notice the cats look a bit different in this cutscene. Don't panic. It's all good.
Yep. This is one. There's very few pre-rendered cutscenes, but this is one of them.
No! Oh, poor cat.
Unfortunately, missing our foot in there, falling down.
Long live the king.
It's always going to be one of us. And the cat falls down deep, deep into the depths of a mysterious, dark area.
But he gets up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. Also, let's be honest. If Garfield is looking for lasagna, down here where all the trash is thrown is probably the best place to find it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, if lasagna's going to be anywhere, it's going to be here, right?
Yeah, it might not be particularly fresh, but I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. So we have indeed fallen into this rubbish dump. We have found ourselves inside the city, and as you see, we stumble forward, but we have collapsed, and something mysterious is about to happen. This locked gate, this gate has been locked for who knows how long. Suddenly it's going to open up. The city comes alive.
Yeah, almost like our presence has triggered something, or someone has detected us, and we see these little weird creatures as well that run off through the gate. We don't get a particularly good look at them at this point, but we will be running into those before too long.
So up we get. Our cat friends, we can hear them no more. They've left us behind. And there's only one way forward. And that's the way we came. Well, not the way we came. It's the way we just seen. The way we came would be the best way. That game's over at that point. We go back up, we're done. Game over.
No,
Cheers, everyone. GG.
Oh, why don't we just do that for the any percent? Just go back up. Just go fall.
That'd be great. So here we are in the Dead City.
Dead City. The title card literally just says city. That's a
Spoilers.
very literal one. Spoilers, we are in a city.
So more of these interesting weird creatures.
Yep, so again, this is going to be a fairly linear section where we're just kind of trying to get from A to B as fast as possible. You see the neon lights up there spelling out the word help ominously. Definitely not programmed to do that.
What you're going to see is some really interesting design around here as well to try and help guide the player. Rather than just having like big on-screen prompts and stuff, they try to keep you immersed in the game. So you're going to see lots of like lights turning on and arrows and stuff. They're trying to use the environment to actually help guide us around.
Yeah, especially the neon lights are especially good at that. Just in terms of having like massive arrows that are pointing in certain directions. So we're going to knock the paint off here. That's going to break the window down there. And that's good. Then we're going to head into through this flat. And we're about to have our first encounter. Again, we're seeing more of these little creatures, but they're running off before we can get close to them. And we have our first little encounter here with a robot called a companion. Unfortunately, this one not in particularly healthy state.
I'd say he's probably had better days.
Yeah, definitely had better days. You can see the arrow there on that neon sign just pointing up in this direction. And now we're going to finally get a good look at those creatures that we've been seeing scuttling around. As we have our first chase segment.
Yeah. So here are these are the Zerks, also known as the legally distinct head crabs. They are not head crabs. No, no issues there.
Yep. No copyright infringement going on whatsoever here. So the way this works, so they're going to jump at us, and if they land on the cat, then we will be slowed down slightly. We do have mitigations for this, so the meow button. There is a dedicated meow button in this game. I can't remember if we mentioned. The meow button will shake the creatures off, and by spamming that button, we can minimize the amount of time that we're going to be affected. You can see just running through here. Some of them are landing on the cat, but just shaking them off before they can really slow us down at all. So not really affecting us too badly as we get through this chase sequence all the way to the end.
So this is one of the benefits of the Stray macro in that we can bind the meow button to our scroll up. And as a result, it means I can just hold the button for the macro and it just constantly spams it. It's one of the side benefits that it also helps us with the Zerk chases. We just don't get stopped by them, which is great. So progressing through the Dead City, and this bit is very platform heavy. This is where a lot of the time lost... Brilliant. There's timing. This is where a lot of the time lost can occur. Because, something like a stumble there, which is kind of a little bit RNG on the game's part, can cost you a few seconds, but just trying to optimize this section of the game is incredibly tricky.
Yeah, so what happened there was the cat stumbled by just grabbing the very edge of the ledge and having to pull up. That happens if you try and take a jump at a very tight jump, just at the maximum range you can make it. So it's very easy to just lose a few seconds that way, if you're trying, especially if you're trying to optimize things, go fast. Here we're going to fall down, but that's okay. I'm just going to turn around and keep following this path. They've done a very good job of crafting like a proper, it's a very natural feeling path, but the world itself is also a very natural feeling.
Garfo, can you jump up, please? Thank you.
We also got some environmental elements like these planks that we can knock down to create walkways. And yeah, we're going to see a few more of those environmental effects as we go on through the run. You can see we've got like the strings of light there guiding us where to go. It's just so well. The world is genuinely so beautifully crafted.
Yeah, very immersive.
Yeah, extremely. Here we've got to run slightly away so we can backtrack on ourselves and head through this grate and towards the flat.
So you can see that we pulled the battery out. That stops the fan. So this is kind of teaching us about how the batteries work, which is going to come into use just here, as you say, in the flat. The Blue 12 flat.
So the flat, we get cat on a keyboard here. So just going to stand on the keyboard and send some messages. C.
That's a lot of
It's great the more you move around on that keyboard, the like different letters happen. So
you can actually type. Well, I mean, I say you can type stuff on it. Nothing that makes any sense, but you can technically type on it.
Oh god! Imagine trying to actually type something that makes sense on that.
No.
So this room is one of the hardest to route in the game, or one of the hardest to optimize in the game, because there's 4 batteries in this room that we need to put into these slots. Now, the batteries themselves are fairly finicky, because you can only actually put them into a slot while the prompt appears on screen. So if you just go next to the socket and drop the battery, then it just drops it on the floor, it doesn't actually put it in the socket. But they're masterfully putting them in the socket first time.
I was going to say, that might have been one of the best battery rooms I've ever had.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That went really
it's
well.
It's kind of rare to get them all first time. And that's going to power on these computers, and we're going to...
Go in the slot! Thank you.
There we go. See, something has to trip you up at the end.
Eventually.
And we're going to meet B12.
So yeah, we picked up this drone companion known as B12. You can see the little sticker on the front. It's been powered up.
And yeah, we mentioned that at the beginning, you know, we had the door that opened. We've had kind of lights that have been guiding us along the way. We've had monitors that have had arrows saying go this way. And there has been a consciousness that has been guiding us here. And we've just uploaded that consciousness into the body of this drone robot. And that is now B12, who will be accompanying us on our quest to get back to the surface.
So some of the things that we missed as we were in that room getting the drone companion, there's a little pod there, and there's a sticker on the pod, a little note, and it reads, "I hope this will work." It looks like it has.
Absolutely. So we can use B12 to also pick up items. So we've managed to pick up the key there, and we're also going to put B12 is also going to put a harness onto the cat. We can't actually see the harness because
Garfield
the
is a chunk.
Garfield model is chunky, so the harness model is just kind of inside. But we do get the light, so we'll just see Garfield's light up randomly now.
3748. So exiting the flat here. That's a code that you'd normally find in the room to the right there. But obviously, you know, we're speedrunners, we know it. And now we spin.
Spin is very important. It is very important to validate the run by spinning.
I love that B12 is just kind of sat on his back. It's great. I love it.
B12 just loving the ride.
So some other things that we learned as well from the flat is that it's at least 2190. We learned that from an engineering degree that was on the wall. Okay. So what have we just picked up,
We see a
Mindes?
mural there of the outside world.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we were to look up, we would see that we can't actually see the sky from where we are, and we see a mural there that B12 tells us is known as the outside. And on it we find a postcard with a little picture of the outside, and it seems like there's the city inside and then the world outside, and we obviously want to try and find our way back outside.
I don't know why. The way you said the outside, I really just want to say the greater good. I don't know why.
The outside.
The outside.
The greater good, yeah. So that brings us on to our next chapter, which is the slums. So the slums. So most of the chapters so far have been very linear. The slums is the first chapter in the game that really starts to be a little bit more open world, and a little bit more about exploration. This is a whole town that the companions live in. We can go around, talk to them. You know, you can properly explore. There's a lot of side quests going on. Obviously, we're going to take a very optimized route through, but this is kind of where the game really opens up and starts to feel like a huge world that you can explore. But the companions initially see us and run in fear. And we can see the companion guardian there, who's going to come and confront us. And realize that we are not one of the Zerks that they thought we are, and that we are in fact a cute little Garfield. And I love the way that, like, when you meow, the monitors on the companions just, like, become happy faces.
It's great, isn't it?
So cute.
So initially, the Guardians don't actually speak a language we can understand, but because we have B12, B12 is able to actually translate for us. The Guardian recognizes that we're not a Zerk, so allows us into the village, as long as we don't eat anyone.
Yeah, I suppose we can make that promise.
For now.
For now. And yeah, this is where we would get the opportunity to properly explore the world, talk to all the companions, and really get kind of that immersive lore from the environment. But in fact, what our actual goal here is to go to 4 houses of people that were known as the Outsiders, or sorry, companions that were known as the Outsiders, the actual robots, that believed that they could get to the outside world. And each one of their houses has got a notebook in it. So we're going to go and pick up all those notebooks. And we're going to end by heading to Momo's house, who is the one outsider that remains. The other outsiders have gone off to try and find the outside world. Again, to do that, we're going to try and take a optimized path through here. So getting a little bit of a stumble there. Coming over to the second building over here. This one is full of books. And one of the cool mechanics in this game, you can jump onto a pile of books and jump off it, and then it becomes very ragdoll physics kind of. So we're just kind of knocking everything off, knocking everything over, as you know, as cats are wont to do.
As a good cat does.
Key. as any good cat does. We're going to get the second notebook, and then head towards the third outsider's house. Ooh.
Garfield, why are you jumping up there? So we spoke a little bit earlier about the fact that this game, the timings on it can be very tight, and you know, making tiny little mistakes like jumping in the wrong place, it really does add up. So like that little jump there up to the top a second ago, you know, it's only a 1 second or 2 second loss, but it really does add up in a game where everything is timed to the near second.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a reason that like the leaderboards for this game, like everyone seems to hover around about the 120 to 122 mark.
Yeah.
But then really properly optimizing everything, like every single minute you save off there is such a massive, massive achievement. Just because you have to optimize every single jump. It's so easy to just lose a few seconds here and there. They add up so quickly. And here's Momo.
Yeah. So we're going to go over to Momo. So the Guardian gave us a notebook, which we're going to hand over to Momo. Momo would then tell us about the other ones, which we were then meant to go and get. But we can kind of skip all that because we've already got them all. And so we're now going to hand over the other notebooks. And he's got...
Absolutely. I think Momo's kind of lost hope a little bit in finding the outside world, but refinding these notebooks kind of gives him that kind of renewed hope that maybe we can go to the outside world.
Most importantly,
go
on, sorry, you're going to say about the transceiver, I'm guessing.
Yes, so you build a transceiver, and we're going to go and place that somewhere where we can get a signal to try and contact the other outsiders.
Yep, so one of the notebooks we got was from a character called Doc, and in there he said about how to fix the transceiver.
But to do that, we need to get somewhere... Well, to place it so that we can get signal, we need to place it somewhere very high up. So this is kind of the first segment where we're going to be... It's kind of linear, you know, get from A to B, but we're also going to be attacked by Zerks in several places as well. So we're going to have some actual, like, quote-unquote, like, combat-type scenario. We also have a very cool environment detail here where we can use the momentum of jumping onto the platform to turn that platform and, like... use it to get to new areas. As you can see, we've got barrels we can also roll. There's a lot of cool little environment details.
Oh, the barrel's not far enough.
Oh, not quite far enough.
There we go.
And you can also just, like, the rooftops as well, I think, is the first time we get a proper, like, image of just how infested this city is, right? If you just look around, you can see how devastated it is by the Zerks and by whatever weird nest or fleshy material they're creating. So here the intention is to trap the Zerks off to the side while you move the barrel, but we can just use the barrel to squash some of the Zerks and not really have that be an issue. We're going to continue making our way across. We're going to see a big sign for Neko Corporation.
Why are you going there, Garth? Up there, thank you. Let's push the plank. There we go.
Again, some more of the Zerks in here. We're just gonna basically run past them. Like the best thing about having that macro is you can basically like 99% of the time ignore the Zerks because you're spamming the meow button so fast that they're not really going to be an issue.
Oops. In the barrel, please. In the barrel. There we go.
Even here, where they're just supposed to overrun you, like it's very much just get straight in the barrel, just keep focus on it, keep spamming that meow button,
Yeah.
and you manage to not get overrun. The macro honestly is just game changing.
It essentially takes moments where it's very easy to take a death in this game, to effectively being relatively trivial. Like here, for example.
We also have this section. So this is meant to be a survival section, but we just kind of stand here, and the Zerk can't really hit us. I mean, they kind of can hit us. They're failing to do so at the moment, though.
Yeah.
If they do manage to do just a quick meow, and the cat will just jiggle. There we go. There's the jiggle.
Oh, wiggle, wiggle.
Jiggle.
Okay, now we're inside the elevator. We are more than safe. So while we're going up here, double, if you've got any messages for us, now's a great time to read some out.
Alright, very well. Let me just check some things here, and yeah, very appropriate timing on this because we just received a $19 donation from Code Gorilla with the message saying, "I too hate Mondays and love lasagna. Loving this Garfield mod." And that $19 is going towards the bonus game we have for Supermarket Shriek. With $19 raised so far for that, out of the 150 needed, that leaves 131 left for that. And let me check how long you have. And that run is going to come up in around 8 hours. 8-ish hours. So that's how long you still have left to get that bonus game, Matt. So yeah, thank you, Code Gorilla, for your generous donation. That has indeed brought us to the ever so nice total of $69.
Nice.
Nice.
Thank you very much, Double. So what we're currently learning here in these cutscenes is that this is Walled City 99. It was meant to be a shelter, and the roof above us is hermetically sealed. Built by humans to protect themselves from the outside, but at the cost that nobody can leave. The outside was basically considered a disaster, barren, unlivable, dangerous, but B12 believes that it is his mission to reopen the city. So we've jumped back in the bucket, and now we are back in Momo's apartment for The Slums Part 2.
Yeah, and now we get another opportunity to do things in the slums that we didn't do before. We're going to actually do a few of the like side quests, some of the required ones, as we kind of need to at this point. And we also kind of, while we're on the rooftop, getting somewhere high, we kind of got an idea of the sheer scale of this city as well. Like the roof, the massive imposing roof above us. You can see there were kind of like two levels. There was like the slums below and then Midtown up above. And I think we kind of got the impression that we need to get to Midtown. But yeah, so Momo here is going to use the data from the transceiver. To try and connect to the other outsiders.
Yeah. So from this, we learn that one of the outsiders that we picked on the notebook of Balthazar made it out alive along with the others. They're safe. They found a way up and out, and we're told that we have to go through the sewers in order to reach them. You would have briefly just seen Seamus there, who's walked out, who's told us that the sewers are infested with Zerks, will never make it. But the bartender says that Seamus's father's actually Doc, who's one of the other outsiders, who went off to experiment with something and was never seen again. That's why Seamus is a little bit down in the dumps.
Absolutely, and we'll be speaking to him in a moment. For now, we need to get up here and get this cycle, so we meow to distract the painters as they're trying to throw paint cans across the two roofs. That causes them to drop the paint can and opens up the laundry down here, where we're going to get an item, the detergent, which we will need shortly. So this is one of the side quests that we're now required to do. So we've got a whole trade section here, basically. We need to make them drop the paint so that we can pick up the detergent. We're going to swap the detergent for some cables. We're going to get a grandma companion to knit the cables into a poncho so that we can make another robot warm so that they can fix a device for us. And we're going to work our way through that trade quest, quest sequence shortly. But right now we're coming here to Seamus's apartment. Seamus is not answering the door, so we need to find another way in. Fortunately, Seamus's house just has a random hole in the side, because, you know, why wouldn't it?
How convenient.
Yeah. A random hole that it's very easy to glitch into as well, but staying away from the hole before Momo moves the thing in front of it. So here, we're going to scratch this painting off the wall. You'll see Huds is actually capping his frame rate for this particular part. If the frame rate is too high when you scratch that painting down, you just go through the wall and you kind of just soft lock yourself to the side. So if your like frame rate is too high, yeah, this game is basically unbeatable here.
Yeah, you got to play it capped rather than unrestricted frame rate on that bit. Otherwise, yeah, you can just end up clipping out of bounds.
Yeah. The graphics card is too powerful. Yeah, we do find a hidden room in Seamus's house where Doc was working on his experiments, and
yeah,
part of that is a tracker. But unfortunately, it is broken, so we do need to get it repaired. So now is the time we need to go and do the trade sequence. So we've got the detergent from the laundry. We're going to go and trade that here for some cables. And then we need to, again, just taking the most optimal path that we can, go through the streets towards Grandma. We will take the cables and knit them into a poncho. And then with the poncho, we're going to go and see Elliot. So Elliot is the kind of programmer companion. He's certainly capable enough technically to fix the tracker that we've got. So we're going to go upstairs and give him the tracker. But he is also very cold, so we're also going to give him the poncho. And with the two items combined, we can get the fixed tracker. And then that we can take back to Seamus, and we can use that fixed tracker to find Doc.
there we go. Beautiful.
I also love the clocks in the background. I always point this out. They go to 16. So these companions have invented hexadecimal time.
This is something really worth saying, actually, is there's loads of these little kind of Easter eggs and secrets and stuff built into this game. Like, what you're seeing right now is like a tenth of what this game has to offer in terms of its lore. The developers have put so much time and love and effort into all the smallest details. It's a game really worth purchasing and playing through in your own time, because while you're going to see the main storyline here, there's a lot of this that you're not going to see, and a lot of backstory and just all the lovely hidden gems that really make this world so beautiful to play in.
Yeah. So Garfield putting on the paper bag there. It doesn't quite fit on Garfield's head. But that's another important thing we have to do to verify the run. Just as we're walking with Seamus here, there's not a lot to do. So we grab the paper bag, which kind of inverts the controls and also makes them a little bit random. So, but it's still plenty easy to keep up with Seamus.
Good fun.
It's a very important part of the run again, quote unquote.
By the way, for those who like references to other media, keep a little eye on Seamus's outfit here, specifically the jacket and the hat. You might not recognize it just yet, but I'll guarantee in around about 3 or 4 minutes, you're gonna suddenly recognize it. Okay, so we're venturing outside of the inner sanctuary, the inner safe area.
Absolutely, and Seamus is going to come over here. Again, just following the tracker. Seamus is not going to follow us, but is going to open this door at the very least, so that we can enter Chapter 7, which is Dead End. So the aim of Dead End is we're going to go and find Doc, and we're going to rescue him because he's a little bit trapped. We're going to start out here with a chase sequence, so we just need to run past these Zerks. Again, the Zerks themselves are not going to pose too much of a threat. So really this is just all about the optimizing the pathing, optimizing the jumps, optimizing the movements. And just spamming that meow button so that the slowdown does not happen when the Zerks attack.
You can see how we instantly shake the Zerks off, which is ideal. There we go.
We're gonna get a little bit of momentum-based platforming here. So we've got these platforms that we can turn by jumping on them. We'll jump on that one twice to move it even further. We got a little bit of a cart ride segment. This is all completely automated. This is just basically a cutscene. We're just gonna smash some Zerks. Yeah, it's gonna feel really good though. Poor Garfield. Garfield is having a heck of a day.
It really is. I mean, I'm starting to wonder if this lasagna is really worth it or not. Okay, time for some climbing.
Yep, so Doc's house is now pretty much right above us. So as we just climb up here to this little path up here and over this fence, we're going to get to Doc's house over there. And again, just seeing just how infested this place is and just how many Zerk there clearly are here. But here we are in Doc's house. We see Doc's keeping some Zerk in a cage as well. So clearly just surviving here amidst the Zerk territory.
And if you haven't got the reference now that you've seen Doc, then I suggest you catch up on your movies from the 80s. It was in the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think so. It is very much a Back to the Future reference.
Yeah.
Which I didn't get until I saw Doc either. I think a lot of people got it from Seamus's outfit, but yeah, I needed Doc's to get it as well.
Same. And if you haven't seen it, go on, carry on.
Yeah, we find out from Doc that he's been working on a device called the Defluxer that is meant to be able to destroy the flux, to destroy the Zerk even.
Destroy the flux? No.
Destroy the flux. Yeah. This is Doctor Who now. But unfortunately, it needs 1.21 gigawatts of power in order to charge it. So we're going to need to come over here and put the fuse in so that we can supply the power to the Defluxer. Power it up, and then Doc now has the power.
I got
as
power.
the Zerk attack. Unfortunately, yeah, because this was all Zerk territory, Doc couldn't come out and put the fuse in himself, so we have to do it for him. And you can see he's using the defluxer, which is basically just a ultraviolet light to destroy the Zerk. And obviously, the roof being hermetically sealed in this city, you know, they don't get sunlight, so there's not a lot of ultraviolet light generally. So that's why that has the power to destroy the Zerk.
Yeah, defluxer, 1.21 gigawatts, all Back to the Future references.
Yep.
Nice, that's that.
So now that we've brought the now that we've kind of powered up the defluxer, Doc works on a portable version of the defluxer, which we've now installed into B12. So B12 now has a weapon to use against the Zerk. Now the way the defluxer works is you can hold a button to use it, and after 3 seconds it overheats and then takes 5 seconds to recharge. So not letting it overheat is absolutely critical. You can do that by just like using it in short bursts, basically. You can see dispatching the Zerk there.
I've just realised an issue. So for anyone out there wondering, recently the rules were changed for Stray speedrunning, whereby we're now allowed to remap buttons, specifically the macro controls, away from the keyboard into the controller, which is what I've done because it makes it much easier to use the macro. I've overridden my button to use the defluxer.
Oh no!
So it's not on my controller anymore. No, it's not a massive issue. This is by the way, this is the first run I've done having remapped my buttons. You'd think that I'd practice, but no.
Can I just check? Did you just change your control scheme before a marathon run?
Maybe.
Okay.
However, it's okay because it's still on my mouse.
Okay.
So I can still use my mouse, so it's fine. Like.
All right. Okay.
Whoops.
You just have to make things more challenging for yourself, don't you?
Of course.
So we're going to see more of the Zerk here. We're also going to see some Zerk now attacking Doc. We only left you alone for like 5 seconds.
Seriously, Doc.
So we're able to use the defluxer, defeat this wave of Zerk that are coming in.
Oh no.
They're getting overrun. Oh no.
Okay. Slightly overheated. Couple of second time loss, but that's okay. Yeah, so normally my right bumper button is my button for the defluxer, but that's now on scroll wheel down, which is for ending dialogue.
I mean, on the bright side, that's pretty much the last time you have to use it in this run.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's the last time that I'm required to use it.
Yeah, we are going to have it throughout the next level, but then we will be losing it anyway. But frankly, there's no point in the sewers where it's worth using it. So here we're just going to play with some engine shenanigans. So this is Real Engine 4, so we can just push things in walls to have physics be weird. Because we're just waiting for Doc now to open this door. Oh, so Doc now has become the boxes.
Have some crates. Because why not? Yeah, kick that one through. Well done, Doc. Well done. Oh, love it. I mean, it's worth saying that having changed the control scheme, I did test out some of the levels to make sure it was all working. I just didn't test anything with the deflux.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Such a me thing to do.
Again, it is so lucky that you only need it for like literally 2 sections and that's it.
I'm fair. It's so lucky that it's on my mouse as backup.
Yeah.
What can I say? I just like making things harder for myself.
All right. So now that we have brought Doc back to the slums, the Guardian thanks us for our efforts and wants to let us know that Momo is now waiting for us over in the sewers to take us on the next step of our journey. So kind of reunited Doc and Seamus, and now we're heading to the sewers. And here's Momo.
Hey. Also, really see, despite all those defluxer shenanigans, Still managed to come within 1 second of my best time for that for that split. So it's all good. It's all good. Professional speedrunner TM.
Absolutely.
Oh dear. Right, welcome to the sewers, everyone.
Welcome to the sewers. There's a lot of cutscenes. Enjoy.
So, minute 26 to begin with on this raft. We're going to go through the sewers. There's not much more to say about the sewers at this point, so double. If you've got any messages that you'd like to read out, now is a brilliant time.
I do have a message to read out, in fact.
Please do.
Yeah, a donation here coming in from Gopher with $50.
Whoa! Thank you, Gopher.
Yeah, with the comment saying, "You guys rock."
Aw, no you.
Oh, you.
And no, he's got a point. And the donation is going $25 of that is going to the bonus game, and the other $25 to the Face the Mighty Numbers boss rush for the Mighty Number 9 run that we've got coming up later. So yeah, thank you very much, Gopher, for your $50.
Thank you, Gopher. Very generous of you.
Absolutely incredible. And yeah, it's a fantastic cause, so please everybody get those donations in. But yes, as we come to a little barrier here, we're going to need to open that barrier for Doc to be able to, for Momo to get through. And then as we get back on the raft, we get, yet more cutscenes as we move on to the next area. There's a lot of cutscenes in the sewers.
Yeah, further minute and 40 seconds right here, but we can have a little look around the sewers. So this is a great time for us to give you guys a little bit of backstory as to what's been going on and a little bit of the stuff that we've kind of skipped over. So firstly, Neko Corp. So Neko Corp are actually the ones that were responsible for trash management in the city, in Walled City 99. But basically, it was trash from the upper levels overloaded the slums down below. They tried to develop a bacteria to dissolve it all, and after the humans disappeared, the bacteria mutated. It grew and it began eating more than trash, and it's that bacteria that actually became the Zergs, which is what have been chasing us. What else can we let you know? So for Momo's flat, we also learned that Walled City 99 is about 450 meters in diameter. It is cylindrical, and as we're kind of finding out, there is another level above us.
Yeah, and that's kind of where we're aiming to go. So there were 4 outsiders the companion robots that dreamed about seeing the outside world. There's Doc, who we've already met, Momo, who we've already met, and there's also Balthazar and Clementine. So we're going off in search of them, and all we really know was that they were heading in search of Midtown, which is the upper level of the city.
So we've reached this gate, which Momo is unlocking for us. Oh no!
Yep, unfortunately, this is going to be where we have to say goodbye to Momo, because we're not able to open the gate fully, but he can make a little path below that we can squeeze through at least. And we will see just how infested the rest of the sewers are.
Yep. I'm going to give fair warning. Sorry, go on. I was going to say, I'm just going to give fair warning to everyone here. If you don't like lots of eyes and eyeballs, there are certain sections of this where you may want to look away. We'll try and give you a warning in advance.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's pretty much from about here till the end of the chapter. So, yeah, we see the lasagna growing everywhere.
Oh no!
It's definitely lasagna.
Oh no!
It's normally pizza, but
I'm not sure I want lasagna anymore. Either that, or I'm not sure I want lasagna around yours, Mendez.
You don't like the Zerk lasagna?
It's an interesting kind of way of doing it. It's forbidden lasagna.
Lasagna.
Oh no. So, lots of eyes on the wall watching us. So yeah, we can see here that obviously lots of Zerks around, like the sewers are indeed infested with them, but they appear to have mutated far beyond their current form. Okay.
Absolutely. The sewer's completely overrun. Seems to be used as a bit of a nesting ground. You can see these little, like, egg pod type things that they're bursting out of. Very unpleasant. So this room has two terminals that need to be activated, one on either side, and here's where we get the eyes. Unfortunately, we have to go all the way back to the entrance of the room in order to get to the other side, because there's no path you can jump across. But opening both sides is going to open the door at the back. And after another short little segment through some Zerk-infested hallways, we're going to come to another cutscene where we will get a massive eye. They never really explained the eye thing.
No, it's never explained. Anywhere. They never explained. They just thought, hey, you know what? We could just stick some giant eyes. Let's just have them glow. It's also worth noting as well that once we get out of this section, we never see them again.
Yeah. It's like, just the sewers.
Like, that's it. But hey ho. Alfie's doing okay. He's still got his back to everyone.
Alright, so yeah, we get attacked by Zerk. B12 comes to our rescue, uses the defluxer, but unfortunately overheats, and we now have to carry B12 to the end of the section. So we're going to have a bit of a chase here, where the Zerk are going to be chasing us down. This is now the point where we lose the defluxer, because B12 has burnt it out. But again, with the power of the macro, nothing too much to worry about from the Zerk, just optimizing that movement. Really cutting these corners as finely as possible, and just not letting the slowdown from the Zerk affect the cat too badly.
Alright, while we're going through this chase, can I read off a donation?
Please do, go.
Because we have $5 from Cowboy Knuckles.
Hey!
With a message saying, "I'm so proud of HUD's development, from a Sonic speedrunner to a cat streamer." Less than 3. Love that comes from Mendez.
Aww.
Thank you very much, Cowboy Knuckles, for the $5.
Thanks, CVK.
I think that is the standard like Twitch pipeline, right? Sonic speedrunner to cat streamer.
Sure.
You see it so often.
Oh dear. This is probably a really good time to point out that, as much as we joke about it, I do have a second channel where I stream Loaf Cam. My two cats, Ted and Alfie, appear on there. And Ted is a Twitch affiliate. Technically, they both are, but Ted did the hard work. So if you're into watching cute cats and chill music, go follow Ted601.
Yeah, Ted601 actually hit affiliate faster than HUDs did, which is always fantastic. Anyway, here we are. We leave the sewers and we get to Ant Village. So this is a peaceful little village built into the side of some machinery. Basically, it's like a tower village. So it's built on kind of the outside of like a cylinder. And we also get some cutscenes here with B12. So B12 kind of realizes. B12 has kind of been rediscovering his memories throughout this game as well. We've kind of, as we've kind of gone through, we've realized a few things, and B12 realizes now that that one of the machines down there, one of the pods, is similar to the one that he used. So he was sick, and his last hope, as he was alone, was to lock himself in one of these stasis pods and upload his consciousness into the computer. And the upload went wrong, and he was stuck for hundreds of years, until we appeared and puts his consciousness back into the body of the drone robot. We're also going to meet Zbaltazar there, who has told us that Clementine, the final outsider, is up in Midtown, and that we can reach Midtown if we just go ahead and keep climbing up here. He also gives us Clementine's address.
Just keep climbing.
That's
Just keep
pretty
climbing.
much the end of Ant Village. So Ant Village is a nice, like, really short, lore-filled chapter. There's a little bit of open world. There's a few side quests you can do, but it's as far as speedrunning goes, you just pretty much climb it and get out. And that brings us on to Midtown, which is probably one of the longest chapters in the game.
Yeah, so we're gonna
see another open world section where we've got like a whole. This is really where we properly see like the full civilization of the Midtown companions. Meow.
Meow. So we get a little bit of story here from B12, who remembers the subway. Up here, there we go. Yeah, so reveals that he used to take the subway every morning and was doing this for his family as they wanted to see the outside. Doesn't expand on what this is, though. But yeah, suggests that we show the picture of Clementine to the companions here in Midtown to find out where she is. But of course, we're speedrunners. We know where she is.
Yeah.
She's at home. Where else would she be?
We also find that... we also find that Clementine is pretty much public enemy number one. So the enforcers, who are the basically the police of the companions, are looking for Clementine as a troublemaker. So we're just going to pretty much head straight up to Clementine's apartment. Midtown actually has a different route from when I ran the game.
Yeah, the route's only changed in the last couple of weeks.
So usually we'd be doing some things as we come towards Clem's flat, but we actually put it afterwards just to speed things up later on. When we get to Clementine's flat, we show her the photo of the outside from Miss Balthazar, and she assumes that we're a new recruit. We're one of the outsiders, and she warns us about the sentinels that are preventing us from getting to the outside. She's got a plan. She's kind of leading a bit of a resistance to use the old subway to get to one of the old control rooms, and she's got the keys for it, but we need a battery in order to power the subway. So to do that, we need to break into a factory. And what we're doing here is we need to infiltrate as using one of the companions as a factory worker. So we need to get a high-vis jacket and a hard hat. What we'll do is we'll knock the alcohol onto the that companion's head. We're going to let him do his pathing as we come over here and destroy these security cameras. This again is a little bit of a required side quest on in Midtown, because by destroying these cameras and then jumping it down, we're going to get a cassette tape. And I should probably issue fair warning at this point. The game is about to get pretty loud. This is the one point in the game where the game gets loud. It's very much on purpose to be obnoxious. We see there's the companion that we dropped the bottles onto the head of.
Just need to wait for him now.
So wait for him to start his animation. And then come back here, put the cassette in this thing. It's about to get real loud. But that distraction is going to let us take the high-vis vest and hopefully get over here just in time to get into the box before the companion picks it up.
Oof.
The timing on that is very tight.
So the new routing on that, we used to get the CCTV cameras on the way up, but recently it was figured out what this particular companion's animation stages are, and he only progresses to each one of them when he's on screen. B12. Ooh.
Ooh,
I was going to say.
Pick up the hard hat.
Ooh,
good.
That's fine. I was going to say, I didn't think he grabbed it. So yeah, he only progresses to his next animation stage when he can be seen or you're within proximity of him. So what we kind of figured out is that by doing the routing in a slightly different way, it can save in the region of about 15 to 20 seconds in Midtown, which is a huge time save just for rerouting that bit. The only downside is that the margins for doing that section are incredibly tight. Like, we got pretty good there. We got with it to the box within 2 seconds of him picking it up. Sometimes you can have it as close as you're jumping in the box as he's picking it up. If you miss that box, you have to wait for him to carry the box all the way in, put it down, come back out and grab the next box, which is easily 25-30 seconds. So all the time save that you get from rerouting it is lost in not making that really tight timing. Okay, here we are in the Neko factory.
Absolutely. So we gave the photo and the hard hat and the high-vis jacket to Blazer, who is one of Clementine's companions in this resistance. That was close. Okay.
So close.
So this is the factory. The factory is meant to be a bit of a stealth section, but obviously we're speedrunners, so you know it's as if we're gonna like wait and take things slow. But that does mean that sometimes things get a bit closer than they should do.
A lot closer.
Fortunately, this place is pretty much designed so that, or like set up at least, so that you can just run through, and by the time it matters, you'll be out of range of them anyway. So you can see we're just pretty much attracting the attention of all the sentinels. We're gonna go in this barrel. This is just a barrel, nothing suspicious over here.
Completely normal.
Nothing suspicious. Completely normal. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, so we're in here to get the battery to power the sewers. That's the main reason that we're here. In order to do that, we need to step on these 3 switches. So we're going to use these printer robots. I think we've decided that they're like printers or photocopiers or just, I don't know what they are. General purpose robots. Just cube bots.
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 Yeah, it's never really explained what they are, and it's not technically obvious from the outside. They definitely have wireless antennas, so who knows?
Yeah.
Any suggestions in chat, do let us know.
So we're going to use the barrel for the third and final pressure plate. Then we can pick up the battery. Now, the game always lags massively when picking up the battery.
That's normal.
We assume because it's loading in the next section of the map. But yeah, even on like really powerful graphics cards and CPUs, it's just like completely lags this frame rate entirely. But now we can get back into Midtown with the battery.
Hey.
And we'll just take the battery back to Clem, and everyone's happy and we can get to the control room, right? Easy.
Yeah, job done.
Job done. Pack it up, we're going home.
So you can see how Midtown has changed. Now that the factory's gone into lockdown, you can see that the peacekeepers, quote unquote, have sealed off the flats. There's sentinels everywhere hunting for us. Please don't shoot me, please don't shoot me, please don't shoot me.
Oh, this is gonna be close. Okay.
That one's always a little bit tight. Sometimes it gets shots off and they can get incredibly close to you.
Yeah. Fortunately, like literally, these sentinels just don't understand corners, so it's generally pretty fine. But we're going to find that Clementine is not actually here. But we do find that she's left a series of notes. So we have to identify and look at 4 objects around the flat. So we've got the one down there, we've got the one up there, we've got the traffic code on the head of that mannequin, and the lamp up here. And we get the message nightclub.
Alright.
So we have to go to the nightclub and then we can talk to Clem.
Oh, perfect timing as well.
Yeah, managed to avoid being seen by that sentinel both on the way in and on the way out, which is fantastic. If you get seen by that sentinel on the way in, the sentinel actually waits for you to come out. So you can just say you have to like reload checkpoint to get the sentinel to go away. But yeah, here we are at the nightclub, and we're gonna get this companion to let us in. We're gonna pick up a drink from the bar, obviously. I don't know if this cat has any ID, but we're gonna take the drink over to one of the companions, and we're gonna use, and the companion's gonna give us a lever for the drink, as you do, you know, sometimes when you're a bit short of money, but you've got a lever.
Yeah, when you're desperate
really
for that drink. Yeah.
Yeah, you're desperate for that drink, but you don't have any change. You're, I left my wallet in my other robot pants.
Oh, don't want to press that one. That's the wrong one.
And we get a little bit of a puzzle up here with some buttons that are going to control these lighting rigs. They want to press the right and left ones, ideally, to create a little path around to the VIP area, I guess.
Yeah, and we can see Blazers right
VIP box there. You see Blazer up there? Clem's resistance companion. So surely Clem's up here and safe, right? What?
Oh no!
Blazer was a double crosser all the time. What? I'm surprised.
How could you?
The Blazer goes into full villain monologue mode and you know, tells us all the plan.
While B12 translates his plan.
Translates.
Just point out, he's telling us his dastardly plan to a cat.
Yeah.
Just let that sink in for a second, everyone.
Yeah. Ah, I knew you would come at last.
Foil me this time? I think not.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, the Sentinels are nice. They don't kill us, but they do take us off to jail. Now, what we saw HUDs do there was actually reload checkpoint as soon as the game transitioned into the robots, into the jail map. What that lets them do is actually start shaking this cage before the screen fully loads. Because ordinarily you'd have to wait for the fade in, and then you can start shaking the cage. So yeah, you get a massive optimization by being able to shake that cage early. You've got to shake the cage, hit against the wall, and that frees the cat. We're going to do some more momentum-based platforming here to get through these very dark and dingy kind of jail areas.
Maybe the true story is that Blazer wants to keep all the lasagna for himself.
That's oh my god, this is the true storyline.
Do robots eat lasagna? I don't know. They do now.
They do now. Like, look, we make the law. We can decide whether robots eat lasagna.
So we have found Clem. Clem is trapped in the cell and is pointing over to us at the keys. Obviously, we don't have B12. B12 is taken away from us, so we cannot understand her. But, you know, pointing at keys seems fairly obvious, right?
Yeah, I think she's saying those keys are the wrong keys. Go get different keys.
Ah, is that it?
Yeah, definitely.
Dang. So as you can see, this jail definitely not designed to house cats.
Yeah.
Very conveniently sized bars.
I love that as an environmental detail. Just like the bars are clearly just like too far apart for cats, because obviously this place is just not designed to keep cats. It's designed to keep humans and companions, presumably.
So this bit's a bit of an auto-scroller. We have to wait for Clem to come all the way down, and then we've got a cutscene coming after that as well, where we will find B12 locked up. So, double. If you have any further messages that you'd like to read, go for it.
Right then, I'll make another note of the incentives that we have that you can donate towards. We've got the Face the Mighty Numbers boss rush for Mighty Number 9 is currently sitting at $25 out of 50, so that one's halfway. But there is also an incentive coming up for the very next run, and that one is coming up very shortly as we're approaching the end of Stray. So you can snipe that. You can snipe the prisoner name for the Escapist 1+2.
Ooh. Very nice.
There's also an incentive for Hollow Knight to either save or kill the nailsmith.
Always save.
No donations toward that, so a single donation can sway it one way or the other. And then we've also got our bonus game coming up in around 7.5 hours, give or take, for a Supermarket Shriek, which is sitting at $44 out of 150 needed.
Thanks very much. So we've seen B12 down the bottom. You can see he's locked away, and we meow over to Clem to help us save B12. Don't want to leave him behind.
No, not at all. And we so jail is a bit of a kind of escort mission. We've got like certain places that only the cat can get to. We've got certain doors that only Clem can open, and we see here a certain door that only B12 can open because it's got an electronic keypad. So we need to go and rescue B12 from the Sentinels. So again, this is meant to be a stealth section. We're not going to be seeing a lot of stealth. It's got to be said.
Yeah, I'll let you commentate this bit, so I'm going to concentrate.
Absolutely. So there's all kinds of security devices. We see some lasers. We see the Sentinels that are just kind of roaming around. We're going to try and get in above the laser here. Unfortunately, it's going away from us, so that's slightly more difficult. Really don't want to get seen by this particular sentinel. That particular sentinel is very, very good at just kind of ruining your day. But we're going to come over here and press this switch, which is going to power down B12 defenses. Now, during this cutscene, the cat can still run around. So you can see we're still running towards B12. So we don't need to sneak over to B12 because we're already here. So just pick up B12 after the cutscene ends, get back through the window, and meet up again with Clem. Hopefully don't get hit by that one. There we go. Perfect. Yep, jump on the chair. Perfect. Jump on the chair. All right, perfect.
Thanks, Garfield.
All planned.
All planned. Also, unfortunately,
we have B12.
Alfie has left us, so Alfie Cam has been removed, and he's just decided to start clawing my leg. So,
yeah.
The convenient timing. I'm running with a bit of a handicap right now.
Alright, so carrying on, escaping from the jail. Now we've got all three of our companions here. We're going to drop some bricks, which is going to cause Clem to realise, oh, I'm going to take one of these bricks, I'm going to smash one of the windows. Now she's going to smash the window above, and then we're going to use Clem to climb up to it. Now, if Huds is fast enough with the mashing here, he should be able to jump off the Clem and then jump straight up to the window rather than waiting for Clem to stand up again. So as Clem's kind of coming down, there we go, we've got the jump and straight to the window. Fantastic. Otherwise you have to wait for Clem to like lean over and then stand back up again. And this brings us on to probably one of the most difficult parts of the game, where we have two open sections of yards here. And we need to attract the attention of the sentinels, lure them into these side rooms, and then close the door so that they are trapped inside. Ooh, without letting them outside, without getting shot, ideally. There we go. Perfect.
Nice. One down. That one's probably the
down.
harder one to do, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So the first yard had one sentinel in it. The second yard is going to have two sentinels in, and you have to attract both of them into the room on the side. But there are two doors in this one, so what Huds is going to try and do is attract the attention of both the sentinels, run into the door, close the door behind him as the sentinels enter, and then escape through the other door. Because again, these doors not designed to hold cats. They've got they've got bars in them that are big enough for cats to get through. So we're going to use the columns here to avoid the shots, and hopefully, if the door closed, which it did,
Yeah, we're good.
Yep, the sentinels are trapped within. Perfect, pretty much textbook.
Perfect. So yeah, that one's relatively...
There's a lot of...
Oh, sorry, go on.
There's a lot of RNG in this section because just where the sentinels start is on global cycles on the entire act, so it's very different each time you get here as to what the cycles are.
Yeah. The second one's definitely easier, so to speak. The only thing you need to be careful of is obviously not getting shot, which is why we kind of dive around the columns. But yeah, the first one is the one that usually causes most problems.
Absolutely. So we're on the final section of the jail here, so we're going to use this van to escape. We're going to jiggle the keys so that Clementine comes over. And then we're going to go and open up the garage door so that the van can get out. And here we have our last bit of tech for this section, which is fast van. So as soon as the cat jumps onto the van, the cutscene for the next section is going to start. So the faster we can get on the van, the better. Now, if you can get on the van immediately, then you can trigger the cutscene immediately. Otherwise, you have to chase the van for a good 5 or 6 seconds, or perhaps even more, before you can actually get onto it. So what I was going to try and do is jump on the right side of this dumpster, jump on the right side of this fence, really hug the right wall there, nice. And then just get the indication in range, in time, get on it, trigger the cutscene, and move on to the final chapter.
Yeah, that's a real tricky one. It's a really finite movement. The real trick to it is that very last corner after jumping back where the van is cutting that corner as fine as possible. As long as you do that, you'll generally get it, but it's still quite tricky. Still quite tricky to get.
Yeah. So Clementine realizes, you know, we can't both go there. Clementine has to act as a distraction for the Sentinels.
Here they come.
But gives us the key to the subway. We've already got the battery, so now we have everything that we need to get to the control room.
So remember earlier on in Midtown, we went and got that battery from NecoCorp. The reason for that is to repower the subway. So we're going to run back to where we came out of the pipe from the Ant Village, right back at the beginning of Midtown here. And right here, we're going to slot in that battery. I think this would be a really good time to quickly just say that the music design in this game is just so wonderful. It
so is.
The whole sound design of this game is brilliant. This is
one of the very, very few sections of the game that has music, and it's just really good.
Mm. We're going to run along. We're going to use the key that Clem gave us to start the subway. And this is going to take us on to our final chapter. We're heading off to the control room.
So that's all I can think right now. The use of lighting in this section as well is just really cool.
Really is.
So you see the final chapter, control room. The text in the other language reads CTRL. And we see a very stark contrast from the previous subway station. So rather than all the graffiti and the squalor and just the sheer dirt, we see a well-maintained, technological looking area. We see the worker robots, that worker robot painting the same section of wall over and over again. You know what? You do you. But this place just seems completely untouched by the passage of time. So we're going to get the robots over here, the printer robot, to come over to this this control panel to try and open the door.
Oh, that was really tight there.
Doing some maintenance as a cat. That's sort of just what you do. You just scratch at the wires. Pretty sure that wire needs scratching. That wire needs scratching. Oh, that capacitor definitely needs scratching.
Go scratch it all.
We see like a little control room, staff room kind of area, somewhere where the humans would have been monitoring the city potentially.
And it's during that section back there that we got a major kind of plot, kind of spoiler that lets us know what happened. It basically reveals that there was a plague, and it ended up effectively eradicating all the humans. Meanwhile, we're going to go and stand on some computers here. So B12 is trying to get the main system back up and running. But
to do that, we need to make sure all these computers are on, and then we're going to have some terminals that we need to hack into.
Yeah.
So we inspect the computer, we find out the city is stuck in lockdown from years ago. And we turn the computers on to find out that they're protected by 3 layers of security, 3 terminals that we need to hack. You can see there's one, and we're going to use our amazing cat maintenance skills to do so. During these cutscenes, we can also position the cat as well for the next one. So Huds is going to be expertly maneuvering towards the next terminal and starting off the process of hacking it. You can see there we go, get the second terminal hacked.
And final one.
And here, yeah, final one. Just gotta scratch this little panel off. And B12 takes a lot of energy to hack these components. We're going to have to help him over to the final terminal here, which holds the power now to unlock the city. As B12 tells us that he knew the power required to be more than the drone body could handle. Not unlocking the system will destroy his memory, destroy his consciousness. And the future of the world is in the hands of the companions of the cat, as he uses the last of his power to open up the city. It's very sad.
Or B12.
B12.
No.
And he considered this his final mission.
And there was no lasagna. I can't
That's the
take
true betrayal.
I can't take this cutscene seriously with Garfield there. I just can't. It's so wrong. It's meant to be such a sad and wonderful moment, and all I can see is Garfield's
Garfield's face.
His chunky face just lying beside him, like.
Just imagine that as B12 falls to the ground, you're just like, I hate Mondays.
It's meant to be a really sad moment.
Look, the roof is opening up. There's hope coming to these companions. Finally, they see the outside world, something that they've believed is impossible for all this time. And meanwhile, you're talking about lasagna. The circuit destroyed! Seeing the ultraviolet light, the sentinels, unable to cope with the sunlight, fall from the sky.
But where's the lasagna?
Where's the lasagna?
Run, Garfield! Lasagna awaits! Run! You can make it!
The city opening up in the background. We get a look over it. We can see Midtown. We can see the slums. We can see no lasagna. So the lasagna must be through this door over here. The city is open. The city is actually open. You can freely get out. And time is coming up. As soon as we lose control of the cat.
Be at the top of this final set of staircases in front of us. On the fade out.
We see the blue of the sky again.
Time is in 3, 2, 1, time. Lasagna! He sniffs it, he smells it!
He smells the lasagna!
He can smell it! Well done, Gar. Look how fed up he is. Ugh. Ugh.
Typical Monday.
I did all that. And there's no lasagna. That
He was promised
the forbidden lasagna in the city.
He was promised lasagna, yet there was no lasagna.
the lasagna is a lie. Oh dearie me, that everyone is Stray any percent PC glitchless. This is an utterly wonderful little game. Like, you've seen an hour and 19 minutes of this, but being honest, there is hours more content in here. Almost every companion in this game you can talk to and find out more about the story. There's memories to collect, badges to collect. There's honestly so much that Blue 12 Studio, yes, the drone is named after the studio. Blue 12 Studio put so much love and effort into this. It really is, a wonderful game. So I would highly recommend, if you haven't played it, even if you've just had the ending spoiled for you a little bit by that run, it's still worth picking up and playing. Please do support the developers, because this is one of those truly wonderful indie games that have come out. All that leaves me to say firstly is a huge thank you to Mindez for coming along to commentate. Thanks, Mindez.
Lasagna.
Where can the wonderful people find you?
I stream over at twitch.tv/Mindezi. That's Mindez ZY on the end. I usually do puzzle stuff, speedrun stuff, all kinds of variety stuff.
Fantastic. Yeah, you can find me over at twitch.tv/huds601. I am normally a Sonic speedrunner, but I have also been dabbling in Stray as well. I also have a channel for my cats, for Ted and Alfie. You can find that over at Ted601. If you're into watching cute cats sleep all day with some nice chill music, make sure you go and drop Ted a follow as well. Huge shout outs to obviously to Mendez, to everyone here at Indiethon for putting on this wonderful marathon. Thank you so much for having me here for the first time. Shout out to the Stray speedrun community as well for all they've done for this game, all the routing, the macro, all the support as well. Wonderful place. If you want to get up and running with speedrunning this game, it's a really easy one to learn. It's just a really hard one to optimize. But go and find them over at speedrun.com/stray. You'll find a link to the Discord and everything. Final quick shout out as well to all the wonderful people in my community over at Club 601. You guys are the absolute best. Love you all to bits. Thank you all for the continued support for me, the channel, and everyone else. And with that, double, I'll hand it back to you.
Yes, thank you, Huds, for this showcase of Stray Garfield Percent. And thank you, Mendes, as well, for the commentary. We're going to be jumping to intermission to get our next run set up, which will be the Escapists 1 and 2, any percent for both of them. No donations yet for the incentive to get the prisoner name, so that is something you can snipe while we're setting that up. Donations all going to Caldwell Children. That it will also mark the end of my hosting shift, so I also want to thank Indiethon for allowing me on the hosting desk here. And yeah, I'll be handing you over to the ever so wonderful Pikastrof to get you through the next game with hosting. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy Mindython, and yeah, enjoy the marathon. Enjoy the wonderful runs that are coming up.